Welcome to Sensei and the Beard. I'm Sensei and he's the Beard. And this is episode 1 of our podcast where we'll be breaking down future UFC events and past ones. Today we are going to be making predictions and breaking down fights of UFC 291, which is next weekend.
That's right. So UFC 291 next weekend. The BMF belt is back out of retirement. Jorge's in retirement. The belt's back out. It's going to be Justin the Highlight Gagey versus Dustin Diamond Hot Sauce Poirier for the BMF. That is the main event, the co-main event. First of all, this entire card is a banger. Stand-up banger, stacked. Uncle Sean would say this is totally stacked. Best card of the year. The co-main event, it's Jan Blachowicz versus Alex, say his name right.
Alex Pereira.
Thank you. Alex Pereira. Interesting fun fact. Jan Blachowicz, former champion, ranked number 3. Above him, debuting at 205. Alex Pereira has never fought there, but he is ranked number 2. Interesting. Also, they're letting Tony Ferguson somehow fight still. He's like 98 years old. We'll say a little prayer for him. He's fighting Bobby Green. That should be a fun fight, or sad, hard to watch, kind of like Matt Hughes, Royce Gracie back in the day. Not Sensei's favorite fighter, Michael Chiesa, is fighting. He's got some beef with Kevin Holland. What's that about?
I don't know,
but they're going to squash it. So those two are going to fight. The real main event, one of our personal favorite fighters, actually maybe 2 of them, definitely one of them, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, is taking on Michel Capoeira Pereira, dubbed the new nickname. That's going to be an awesome, exciting stand-up war. Probably not too much jiu-jitsu in that fight. And if that's not enough, the Black Beast himself, it's at high altitude, but he's going to keep his pants on because it's not going to be that hot. Derek Lewis is taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima, some guy, I don't know. He's the favorite.
Yeah.
But Derek Lewis is our favorite. He's probably going to knock that guy out in 1. That's my prediction.
Yeah, so on this episode, we're going to be breaking down the main event and the real main event, which we will start with. So we're just going to give letter grades and some comments about each of the fighters' main attributes. So we'll get to that right now. So starting with Wonderboy, we are starting with wrestling, which is not going to be a huge factor in this fight, but I will just say Wonderboy's wrestling, he uses in reverse, like Chuck Liddell, to keep it on the feet because that's where he wants it. That's
right. You know what? I think the same for Michel Capoeira Pereira. He also likes to keep it on the feet, but if he does take it to the ground, you know he's going to knock down Thompson probably in the first round. Then he'll do what? Turn his back to him.
Backflip.
Do a backflip to the guard pass from the standing position. Not the best fight IQ, but somehow that works. Works for him. So anyway, moving on.
Something that will be a factor in this fight, ability to mix up techniques, which both of these fighters are known well for their ability to mix up techniques. Wonderboy, coming from a karate background, has a lot of tools that are not commonly used in the UFC. So, yeah, he mixes it up quite well on the feet.
Huge variety coming from Wonderboy. The only fighter on the roster probably with more variety in stand-up techniques than Thompson, more in predictability, is Michel Capoeira Pereira. Is going to throw all kinds of crazy techniques, like the one thing that is maybe Wonderboy's Achilles heel,
I guess.
the Superman punch off the cage. He also likes the show. Speaking of Showtime, he likes the Showtime kick, also known as the Matrix kick off the cage. He is explosive. He's exciting. Huge variety. Also A+++. Can't get any better for variety. This is going to be an exciting fight. Can't wait to see it.
Next up, also a big factor, distance management, which is movement and striking. So Wonderboy has really good distance management. He's pretty long. He likes to use his kicks. He's got great kicks, as we can see some just of his fights. This is what he's using all the time in fights. He uses his legs to keep his opponent away from him. But he's really good at getting in and getting out. With his history in karate, which includes sparring and point fighting, I'm sure he was taught a lot of being able to get in and get out without having a point scored on him. So that's a huge factor for his game, and I'm sure will be in this fight.
Yeah, for sure. His style is very much that of a point fighter like Lyoto Machida, except for more like a high volume type, maybe not quite as powerful, but in and out, likes to keep his opponent at range where he's just outside his kicking range and his opponent can't reach him. That's going to be an exciting fight. Also, his background in kickboxing is gonna help with that as well. Michel Pereira, his movement is also A plus, A minus. I don't know. It's a little more unorthodox. Wonder Boy is very good with the linear movement, the forward back movement. Michel Pereira is just unpredictable. He's all over the place. He'll be running in circles, jumping off the cage. That meme says like you're playing a video game and you don't know what the buttons do. That's what it's like watching Michel Pereira. He's just, you never know what he's going to do. He's exciting and crazy, and his movement is all over the place.
Flying knees.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't even know what he's doing here.
Is that Diego Sanchez he's fighting? How are those guys in the same weight class? All right, so then moving on to clinch work.
Yeah, clinch work, you don't see a lot from these two guys, but what I've seen in Wonder Boy is he throws a couple heavy shots and then he just gets out. He wants to keep his distance. He wants to use his length. He doesn't want to be in the clinch. Yeah,
typically if Wonder Boy's in the clinch, setting aside his last fight with Kevin Holland, someone's trying to take him down. So someone's trying to get in on his legs, get their hands connected. So he does not like to work in there. In his last fight, he had a gentleman's agreement with Kevin Holland, which is weird to see and rare. I've only seen that once in thousands of fights I've seen. So he did a little more work in the clinch, but usually he's just trying to get out. Michel Pereira, unpredictable, super explosive, fast twitch. You can expect to see some flying knees and unconventional techniques, maybe some spinning techniques from the clinch. So hopefully we won't see too much of that. I think these guys are going to stay just outside of that range and throw down. Now, jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu. So what I was surprised to hear is that Wonder Boy is actually a first-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu because we never see him use it. He likes to stand up and bang, but the only time we see him use his jiu-jitsu skills is, again, like in reverse to just get back to his feet.
He's never been submitted.
Never been submitted. Uses
6
it defensively.
losses, 5 decisions, 1 Superman punch off the cage, about a 155er.
So we give that a B- just because he's not using it to submit people, but still very good.
And Michel Capoeira Pereira is from Brazil, so he probably knows some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? I don't know. Don't really see him use it too much either, but I mean, if someone's going to do a backflip into your guard, then he probably knows a thing or two.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many jiu-jitsu classes they're teaching.
Yeah, I got a big question mark on that one. We'll see. All right, so moving on to personality.
Wonder Boy is, I mean, he has the NMF belt. He's the nicest fighter in the UFC. Great personality. You can see in this picture he's high-fiving a kid, so you know he's nice. Yeah, A plus on that.
Yeah, I can't disagree. He exudes positivity. He's always upbeat. And he's got a great podcast where he breaks down fights like this, and he's always positive and tough and accurate, but just has that it factor and just energy and positivity pouring out of the guy. Great role model, good personality. Michel Pereira, I feel kind of the same with him.
I haven't heard him talk much.
I haven't heard him speak that much, but he seems to be a good sport and when he wins and when he loses. So good. It's easy to root for either one of these guys. So credentials.
So, like I said before, he is a BJJ first-degree black belt, which is a great feat, but he's also a fifth-degree karate black belt in Kempo Karate, which is very hard to achieve. That takes years and years of training, and he obviously uses it. He also has a kickboxing record of 58-0-1. 1 no contest, no losses, 58 wins, which is an insane record, which is great for credentials. So I give him an A+ on credentials. What about you?
Michel Pereira, no idea. I don't know. He's the best capoeira fighter in the world, probably. I don't know.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, he's the most memed UFC fighter.
That is a great
that's
achievement.
That's something. All right, chin.
I mean, he's only been knocked out once. He gets hurt, but he's very good
By a
at recovering.
155-pounder.
Okay, yes. He got knocked out by...
Not known for his knockout power.
Okay. But...
No, but he's got a granite chin. He's taken a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
Dude can take a punch. He is not afraid to get hit. He'll put himself in danger to take one to give one. He's been through some wars. Mm-hmm. Tough chin, great cardio, good recovery. Yeah, that guy's tough. Michel Pereira, I'm supposed to be doing this guy. I don't know. I think he's tough.
He seems tough.
he looks tough.
He takes a lot of risks.
He's got a nice beard. Tough. He's probably got a good chin. I don't know.
Probably.
It's hard to tell with that beard. So, cardio.
Wonderboy has very good cardio. I haven't seen him tired yet, but this is taking place in high altitude, so that could be a factor.
That could be. But look at all the muscle that Michel Capoeira Pereira carries around.
But have you seen him tired either?
Not like I thought that guy with all that muscle and how inefficient he is with his movement and his technique, and he's a berserker. He's crazy. He's always got his foot on the gas. You'd think this guy would be tired after like 30 seconds, but not really. So I don't know. But muscles burn oxygen. He's obviously fast twitch. He's doing backflips to pass your guard. He does insane techniques. This guy's got to gas at some point, and this is going to be a test.
Yeah, this might be it.
Yeah.
Next up, or last up, I guess, is fight IQ. Wonderboy has very good fight IQ. He knows where he wants the fight to be, and he's very good at keeping it there. He obviously wants to be on his feet, like we said, using jiu-jitsu and wrestling in reverse, sort of, to keep it on the feet, and he knows how to do that well. Very good at executing his game plan, and he has sort of ended his pursuit of the title in order to get the fights that are going to be most entertaining and best, and which is a pretty high IQ move there.
Yeah, I feel for the guy, but I can't blame him. Mm-hmm. You know, the top 5 in that division, they're all strong wrestlers, and every time he fights one of the top 5 guys, they just want to take him down, and he doesn't get submitted. He doesn't get finished. He's never been TKO'd. He loses a boring decision, and he's tired of doing it. So I feel for him that way. I'm excited for him. I think this is a much better way to showcase his skills. I think he'll enjoy it more. And I think his fan base is only going to grow by only taking fights with people who want to stand up. Mm-hmm. Or at least mix it up, not just wrestle. So, having said all that, what's your prediction?
Well, you have to talk about Michelle's.
Oh, his fight IQ? Oh, yeah, F. He's F minus. That guy is a berserker. What he does makes no sense. It's so entertaining. I love watching the guy. But his fight IQ, not great. Mm-hmm. We'll say F. Just an F. Solid F for Michel Pereira. So, having said all that, what's your prediction, Sensei?
So, I think it's going to be super entertaining fight. Obviously, stand-up war. It will most likely go the distance. I mean, I think it will be entertaining because Wonderboy is usually the one throwing his opponents off with mixing up the striking, and I think that Pereira could turn the tables on him a little bit, which I think would be entertaining to see how Wonderboy can adapt to that and what the outcome will be. So I don't know. I think
make a pick.
Okay, I think Wonder Boy wins by decision.
Okay, my heart is saying yes, Wonder Boy by decision, but I think Wonder Boy's Achilles heel is that Superman punch off the cage, which Anthony Pettis, kind of unveiled. Although Michel Pereira's fight IQ is an F, so maybe he won't even try that move, but he does every fight. I'm gonna guess Michel Pereira by knockout, round 2.
Round 2, okay.
That's my prediction. All right, and now a word from our sponsors. Our sponsor, The Beard Woodworking.
Oh, okay.
The Beard Woodworking. Check it out at beardwoodworking.com. Just kidding. That's not a thing. If it is, it's not from our sponsor. But yeah, maybe someday. But we're going to feature one woodworking project per episode, and this is it.
This is a lovely vase. This
is a vase, not a vase, a vase. It is live edge. It's from a wood crotch from a black locust tree.
Can you pause for a second? If you want to skip this, here's the timestamp for where you need to go.
All right. The other sensei will pick that up. But anyway, it's from one of our neighbors' black locust trees that came down, and it's beautiful, and there you go.
We have a hot topic that we have to discuss because we don't agree on it.
Oh boy.
Should oblique kicks be banned?
The oblique kicks. Let's let you go first there, Sensei.
Okay. So, I recently got my black belt in Goju Karate, and we are taught the oblique kick, but we call it a joint kick. It is very dangerous because it can break someone's leg in an instant. That being said, though, I don't think it should be banned. I think it is something that people need to adapt to, but I also think I get that an armbar you can tap to. I get that a choke you can tap to. But it's just as dangerous as any of those. And if you learn to defend it, it's not as dangerous. And I think if it was such an overpowered thing, more people would be doing it and we'd be seeing more injuries. And we're not seeing a lot of injuries from oblique kicks.
You know what? You have changed my mind. I can't disagree. At first I thought this technique is designed to damage the knee, to damage the ACL, MCL. It can happen with one shot. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the vicious, aggressive, not the John Jones, keep your distance oblique kick. I'm talking about the hop in and stomp on the side knee, which, for someone like Wonder Boy who's got that wide stance, he's definitely going to be susceptible to that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you do we don't see that injury all the time. I've not seen a bunch of fights stop because of it. I've seen one fight stop because of it. If it were more of a pattern, I would say let's get rid of it. But maybe I'll agree with you and the Weasel. They need to learn how to defend against it.
Also, one thing we are also taught in the style of karate that I do is any front stance, you shouldn't be able to see your toes. And what that means is your front leg should be bent far enough forward that you can't see your toes. And that is to defend against front stomps to your front leg to break your joint. Because if it's bent far enough forward, it's not going to be able to hyperextend as if you were in a higher stance. Right. So it's possible to defend that. It's not something that everybody's just going to lose to.
Okay. Interesting. All right, you got me convinced. You win this round, Sensei.